Now, the teachings of Muhammad as found in the Hadith, again, give us reason to question the integrity, the honesty, and the sanity of Muhammad. Number one, he said that Adam was 60 cubits tall. That's basically 90 feet high, a third-story building. In Peoria, an imam stood up, and he said, well, he saw that it's there. He said, well, then I believe it. I said, well, then how big was Eve? She was as big too. I said, well, then where did we come from? Then he thought about the impossibility of that. I said, well, she was the size of a regular woman. Then I thought again of this 90-foot man and a little normal woman. I said, where did we come from? You see, that didn't work. Is it medically possible for a human body to be 90 feet tall and for the heart to be able to do circulation? I've asked several physicians to check this, and they say it is medically impossible for a human being to be 60 cubits tall. Secondly, I just got a dog myself, a puppy, and you can imagine my surprise when I read that Gabriel was supposed to show up at Muhammad's house, and he didn't show up. And when he showed up late, Muhammad complained, and Gabriel said, it's because you have a dog in the house, and I can't come in if there's a dog in here. So he called his wife, and she said, well, I have a little puppy, and I keep it under my bed. And Muhammad ordered that the dogs be killed. And immediately, the Hadith says they went out, started killing dogs. A woman in a caravan with a little dog, and they killed her dog. It was a pet. And they ran around, started killing any and every dog, till some of the people said, how are we going to herd our sheep and the cattle? So then he said, all right, I abrogate that, and I say, if you need a dog for herding or for hunting, but that's it. No other dogs. And I look at this and I think, how does this reflect his prophethood? There's nothing in the Bible whatsoever of people running around killing dogs and things of this nature. It's just strange to me. Matter of fact, I've met some Muslims who, if they enter a home where there's a dog, it really freaks them out. I don't know if any of you have that problem. Thirdly, we are told that Satan lives in the nose over the night. Now, this is found in volume 4, and I want to turn there because of the footnote that we are given, which I think is very instructive. And we are told that Satan lives in the nose during the night, and the only way you can get him out, you got to snort water up and then out the nose. And you can flush him away. Instead of washing that man out of your hair, you're washing the nose out of your nostril. Here it is. He should wash his nose by putting water in it and then blowing it out 3 times, thrice, because Satan has stayed in the upper part of his nose all the night. The footnote says we should believe that Satan actually stays in the upper part of one's nose, though we cannot perceive how, for this is related to the unseen world of which we know nothing except what Allah tells us through His apostle. And I've asked my Muslim friends, and I do have Muslims who are friendly. There are people who are agile enough to agree without being disagreeing. And here, I ask them, is it the left nostril or the right nostril? And if Satan is that small, why worry about it? Is he in my nose? Is he only in Muslim nose? This is not anything related, I can see, to choosing prophethood. Fourthly, Muhammad said that playing the game of chess is like washing your hands in the blood of swine, and thus the comment of the Muslim is he forbid all the playing of chess. So if you're a Muslim here and you've ever played the game of chess, then you have violated Muhammad's teaching. Again, I have to look at this and say, this is the infallible record that leads me to trust the Quran? Fifthly, this is a big one, folks. It is very clear that Muhammad said that people metamorphosize into rats, pigs, and monkeys, particularly Jews. This is stated over and over again, both in Bukhari, both in Muslim. It is very well documented even in the Quran. Matter of fact, we're told in volume 4, number 569, that Abraham's father was turned into an animal. Now, maybe because I'm a Westerner, I find no aspect of the teaching of the religion of Abraham related to the idea of people turning into animals. Pigs, rats, monkeys, or any of this nature. I find that absurd. Sixthly, he said Muslims have one intestine while non-Muslims have 7 intestines. And I read this, and I read it, and I think about it, and I say, well, I think he was mistaken. Seventhly, it says in Muslim Volume 3, Hadiths number 862, 863, if you lift up your eyes toward the heavens while you're praying, your eyes will be snatched out. I've prayed an awful lot. Jesus prayed. A lot of people in the Bible prayed looking up, and they still had their eyes. Eighthly, if a fly falls into your cup of water, don't worry. One wing has poison, the other wing has antidote. I find that strange. We should drink camel urine as medicine. Bukhari, Volume 1, number 234. You say, well, that was a cultural thing. Well, then maybe this is a cultural thing as well. Tenthly, fevers are from the fire of hell and can be cooled by water. Now, as I was sharing this with a Muslim in New York City, he said, I don't believe any of that trash. I only believe in the Quran. I reject the Hadith. I said, now, you sure you are rejecting the Hadith? Yes. Then you have no authority by which to tell me how, what, when, where, or why for the Quran. You can't go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I take this Hadith, but the others go. Now, the text of the Quran itself, again, relies on the reliability of the Hadith. But the question comes here. Who wrote out the Quran? On what materials? Who put the Quran together? Where did he find the materials to do this? Why did he do this? Were others putting together their own Qurans? Did these Qurans contradict each other? How did one text gain dominance over all the others? What happened to those other Qurans?